Welcome back to Estate Agency Mastery. We're on season 3, can you believe it? And this season is all about making that jump to whether it's self-employed, estate agency, business ownership, as we call it, personal agency. But if you're thinking about doing it in 2026 or beyond, I wanted to bring on guests that aren't going to talk about their brokerage and why they're great, but actually give you meaningful tips about how you can make that leap, but more importantly, make that leap successfully. So I wanted to start off episode 1 with my business partner, Stephanie Vass, who's been involved in this space for probably as long as me. So Steph, let's say someone doesn't know who you are. Give an intro. Who are you, and why are you super well versed to give someone that's thinking of taking that leap to business ownership 3 or 4 bit tips? Why you?
So yeah, I'm Steph, lifelong estate agent, come from a family of the buggers. I think it was preordained that I was going to end up in a estate agency. I first went self-employed as an estate agent back in March of 2015 within a differentiated business model. I was lucky enough to journey out to California to spend a couple of years living in California, working in real estate, recruiting against some of the largest American brokerages out there. And I founded TAUK, the home of personal estate agency, back in December of 2020. So I've got a fairly good grounding in traditional estate agency in the UK. I have my own experience as a self-employed estate agent within a differentiated business model here in the UK as well as over in the States. I've probably spoken to, I reckon, 4,500 estate or real estate agents over the last 10 years. So yeah, I like to think I've got a really broad view of what people need to be successful and to build a profitable business, what people enjoy about business ownership, and possibly even more importantly, what doesn't work and what people absolutely hate.
Nice. Okay, so very well versed, which is why we've got you on episode 1. So I'm listening to this, I'm thinking, okay, Steph's got a great background. She's obviously going to give me some decent advice. I really do want to make the jump at some point. What should I be doing right now?
Firstly, stop overthinking. The number one regret you will hear from anybody, be it personal estate agency, self-employed, solo operator, is I wish I'd done it sooner. So stop overthinking. If you're thinking, I'm waiting for that right time, but I'm going to do it at some point, let me tell you right now, there is no right time. All you do have, though, is the now. And as we record this today, it's December 2025. I believe this year's been a fantastic year for people launching their businesses, although anybody that was waiting for the budget probably is listening to this thinking, really? But as we go into 2026, I believe we've got a brilliant Q1, Q2 ahead of us. But what will be happening is people loading themselves with more stock. And if they're conventional estate agency businesses, they're going to forget about the people that they've already got listed. So for you going out there, hopefully to do a really low volume, high touch business, because that's what I believe the future of estate agency is, you've got ample opportunity to go and nick some of that low hanging fruit, which could really be a brilliant start to your business. So there's no time like the present. The only regret you're going to have is not doing it sooner. So take that opportunity and ride the whirlwind that we're going to have in Q1, Q2 to your benefit. And the other way to think about it is, this will be the mainstay of estate agency over the next 3 to 5 years. This will be predominantly the space that occupies estate agency, both self-employed and personal. There are distinctions. But if you think about it, the most profitable business that you're going to be running or that you could run will be hyperlocal and personal, low volume, high touch. What if somebody else launches in your village before you? There's no time like the present. Stop overthinking. You're a brilliant agent already. You know how to sell a house. You know how to knock a door. The big decision you've got to make is finding your business partner. And that would be the second tip I would like to give people. The second thing you should be thinking about is It's not the split, it's not the cap, it's not the frigging CRM that the brokerage use, although if they have a good one, of course, that's a benefit. It's the people you're going to surround yourself with. It's the people that are essentially going to be your business partners. And yes, you may not sit in the same room as them every single day, but they are an extension of you on your best days, on your worst days, on your decision-making days. And that really is the crux for me. Have a little look round. What's the look? What's the feel? What's the cut of their jib? Does that match yours? Because that's going to be one of the most crucial decisions you make.
100%. So if we go back to point one before it slips my mind, I always say a buyer's market or a tough market is great to launch your own business because, like you've alluded to, that low hanging fruit's there. I also think that there's going to be an oversupply of properties because there has been a wait since the budget in the start of 2026, certainly Q1. And like you say, there will be agents that list and then forget. And we see this day in, day out in our brokerage where we have agents come on and they can go and get that low hanging stock, if you like, that low hanging fruit. But I think there'll be an oversupply. So I think again, 2026 is going to be a great year anyway, because where I've struggled and it'd be good to hear your thoughts on this previously is when we've brought agents on and everything sells overnight. And then you're like, oh, how do I position myself in the mind share of the client when I don't have those success stories? So what's your take on that?
Well, I mean, look, we launched TAUK in December of 2020, which is just bizarre when you think about it. And stuff was staying on the market for hours, let alone days or weeks. And I think back to, maybe the first 30, 40 agents that join us, and I go, bloody well done, guys. And not that I'm so glib as to say people have got it easy now, because starting a business is never easy. But it's more manageable, it's more achievable, you're more quick to success. Certainly in a market where offering something different to the norm, offering something that's strategy over chance, is actually what the sellers need. They're crying out for something that currently in the vast majority of locations they probably don't even know exists at this point. So what a great starting point for your business. And also just remember, if you are in that sort of, I'm tentative, I'm having sort of second thoughts, or I am overthinking things, what do British people love to do? Talk about property. Your business has one of the most consumable products within the UK. So have real confidence in that.
It's so true. And I think one of the things that you've kind of touched upon a couple of times that I really want to highlight is if whoever your business partner is going to be, right? So moving on to point two, they will have been on an evolution. So a business partner that's been around for a while has, we've just put in the head of coaching, again, not being too TAUK salesy, right? The systems and models and processes we know that work. We've got the Kit Kat from Tom Constable and Dan Brownhill idea, and our our drive to five initiative or whatever. Again, the great brokerages out there, but it's working out who the cut of the jib, who the people you want to surround yourself with, but who do have that kind of proven system and models that you can plug into, so you're not left to your own devices. And I think that's a huge one for me, is learn from the mistakes of others. And those 30, 40 you've touched upon that had to do it of a harder way and we're just flinging stuff at the wall and we're doing their top 50 videos in wherever and the top 50 streets somewhere else to really become that agent of choice when they didn't have stock or
Yeah.
that social proof, have gone through the pain. And for me, it's making sure you join a brokerage where everyone shares the success of what works and what hasn't. What would you say to that?
Yeah, and I think, look, for me, that's one of the massive benefits against being a solo business owner and a solo operator. I've always felt that being a part of something bigger than myself is important and it's special and it's exciting. But if we just look at the pure baseline of being able to start and miss a couple of the missteps, skip some of them. So again, we're not going to go too overly TAUK, but we're just about to launch season 3 of the peer-to-peer podcast. That is literally a estate agent saying, here's what worked, here's what didn't, learn from my mistakes, be more successful more quickly. And we can see it in every onboarding. People get to listing 1, 3, 5 quicker than the onboarding before, because we're constantly evaluating what works, what doesn't. We're evolving that onboarding process. And I think, on one element, I know agents will be sat there going, well, if I'm going to be a business owner, I want it all to be on me. I'm going to make all my decisions. And there's probably a little bit of ego that I think allows people to waste time. I say, if this has worked, don't reinvent the wheel. Think about doing crazy off the wall stuff in 6 months' time, in 12 months' time, when you're profitable, when you've got a great pipeline, when you've got some social proof. I actually promise that you won't. Guarantee you won't do these off the wall things. But if these things are clear and simple and they work and they allow you to build a hyper-local business, a profitable business really, really quickly, listen. Listen and take advice, I think, that would probably be my number 3. Learn from people who've gone before, skip the missteps, listen and take advice, check your ego at the door, button down. In 6 months' time, reinvent the wheel if you feel you need to.
I really like this, and I'm going to challenge you, and in the way that I reckon you're probably challenged on quite a few of calls or people wanting to come in to TAUK again. For any brokerage you want to join, right? What if an agent comes and like, I want to do it my way, or I want to change the font slightly, or this doesn't work in my area? Because you will get agents saying that. And listen, 10, 15 years ago, that would have been exactly me. How would you retort that? What would your conversation be back to that agent?
Yeah, and I suppose if anybody sat there sort of listening and thinking that they may go along that sort of thought process, ask yourself why. Why on
Okay.
earth would you challenge somebody that has launched a personal estate agency business very, very successfully and is 5 years ahead of you? Why would you want to try and relearn all of that? Actually understand where you are in the evolution of this. You've now got the opportunity to take personal estate agency and make it a million times better because we're already there. So I think there will be people that go, oh, I want to be a solo operator because I want to do it all myself. And look, that's absolutely fine, but ask yourself the reasons why. Guarantee most of it's about ego.
Yeah.
I think the people that certainly find their home, and I don't even really call us a brokerage anymore because I kind of think that's an American setup, and we're not that. We're an estate agency business, we're a personal estate agency business with a home of personal estate agents. So if that real hyper local, low volume, high touch, high fee, we sell homes, not houses, we're proud of who we are, we stand at professional marketing as an absolute minimum baseline of what we offer, not an extra. If all of that is kind of what you're trying to create, come and do it with us. Learn from 5 years of mistakes and learnings and success. Take us to the next level as a collective and let's celebrate that. And I really, really think that's where a lot of great agents' energy is best spent. It's
Yeah.
not best spent relearning everything we already know.
There's a couple of things I want to touch on here, and I think ego versus profitability is going to be huge throughout this series as a theme. And it's almost leave your ego at the door, plug into what we do. Whether you listen to Chris, Steph, any other brokerages, that you will have amazing brokers or agents or personal agents in that business that you can learn from. And trying to do everything just doesn't work, right? I've been there a number of times.
And I think it's this the doing everything bit. So the reason that I launched as personal estate agency business was because I didn't fundamentally believe in what else was out there. So if whatever brokerage estate agency you're talking to doesn't quite fit, ask yourself why. Because if you do have a groundbreaking idea, well, yeah, go and be a solo operator and really drive that, whatever it may be, within a state agency. Don't just be a solo operator for the sake of it. Don't waste all your profit, all your margins on right move, on staff and all of those sorts of things, because probably the reason that you're trying to get out of the rat race is because you're starting to lose the love of a state agency and you just really want to help people move home and do it in a fantastic way in your local community. I guarantee, and I can't speak for the other brokerages and estate agency, but I guarantee the backing and support, from our customer hub, from all the tech, well, all these bits and bobs, you can't recreate for 30% of your revenue. You can't recreate what we offer for 30% of your revenue. So again, if solo is the right decision for you, make sure it's still a fiscally responsible decision that you're making.
And I see this all the time. There's an agent, I won't mention where they are, but they had a fair bit of money behind them, and they said, "Listen, I want to do it my own way, my own name, etc." And if they didn't have that money, which they could have bought two buy-to-lets for their kids, and I was like, put it in an SPV, go and do this, secure your family's future. They've burnt through it now, and I'm like, it's crazy. Whereas what I love about the self-employed brokerage personal agent model is it's low overhead, high margin, low overhead, high margin. And business, you can be a world-class estate agent, but business ownership is a completely different skill set. And
I
that's what I
actually
love
don't
about this
believe
business.
most people want to be a business owner. I think
Yeah.
people romanticize it's my own gig, it's my name above the door, and da da da. Actually, you just want a better environment to sell homes really exceptionally, to market yourself brilliantly, to help people move home in a meaningful way that you haven't had the time or resource to do previously. Owning a business, honestly, it's neither here nor there, and sometimes it's a load of goddamn stress. So I like to see this as yes, you have autonomy, you have flexibility, but you've got time, you've got resource. You can really get back to being a bloody fantastic estate agent and helping people move home in a brilliant manner. That's actually the exciting bit. It's not wrangling with Rightmove because of their cost. It's not arguing with bloody board contractors day in, day out. It's not talking to the flipping printers about what they're going to charge us for business cards this year, or suppliers, and they want you to see on another frigging demo of their tech that looks exactly the same as the other seven you demoed last week. All that's boring as hell. Do you know what's really exciting? Meeting a seller who absolutely believes in what you're doing and really wants to go on the journey with you, meeting with your videographer and deciding the track that's going to go against that home and it all fits, launching that house, having a busy open home, getting an amazing offer for your client. All of that bit's the real sexy, exciting stuff. And that's why I totally, totally believe in personal or self-employed or brokerage above any other style of estate agency.
Thank you, Stephanie. So I'm going to curveball you with one final question because we are in time. Let's say you've made that leap. You're with one of the many great models that are out there, hopefully with us, but one of the many that are out there. What is one prospecting tip you would give to an agent listening to this? They're like, right, I'm starting. Where do I go? And, we're not going to be doing marketing. We're not going to be fully focusing on getting my Instagram right and everything else right. This is going after stock that we need to sell. You've got a little guest that's just turned up. What's one prospecting tip you would give?
It's got to start with door knocking, and I know everyone's going to groan at that. Door knock, you're not offering a free val. I mean, just lose that from your vernacular altogether. Don't offer a free valuation. Go and offer a buying service. Go and say, I've just launched my own business. I don't have you registered as a buyer. I'd love your details because I'm probably going to be doing quite a lot of off-market stuff. Just strike up a conversation with somebody on their doorstep. I guarantee the vast majority of people are not doing it in your market. I guarantee that the people who are doing it in your market are not doing it very well. They're coming at it from a sales angle. You're not there to get the free valuation. You're there to introduce yourself to somebody. And because you're doing it in a really low salesy fashion, you're not there selling that free val. People are going to go, oh, you're a nice, normal, lovely person. I'm surprised because I don't think about that when I think about estate agents. And that one conversation, I guarantee, will turn into future business. But don't just knock one door and don't just knock one door once. You've got to be persistent, consistent. And if you knock 10 doors a day for the first 10 weeks, I guarantee you'll have driven yourself to 5, if not more, and you'll be off to the races.
Nice. Final question for me, suit or no suit?
So I think this is probably very market indicative in a sense, because I do think there'll be certain higher end if you turned up with a nice waistcoat on and those sorts of things. I personally don't wear a suit. I'm jeans, nice smart Holland Cooper blazer, of course. And either some cowboy boots or some trainers. I don't think a suit would work particularly in my market anymore. But do whatever you feel comfortable in. What's the
My
best version of you?
That you're completely right. What are you comfortable in? I always say dress to impress, right? If you're in East London, you want to wear something a little bit funky and some track, do it, right? If you're in West London and you want to not dress like an agent but wear some really nice get up, go and do it. But dress to impress for your area, but you've got to feel natural in it.
You do, because again, remember the whole basis of this style of estate agency is only ever having to do business with like-minded people. So if you're dressed in your fancy club or whatever that might be, you're attracting the kind of client that wants to deal with an agent like you. And that for me is the best business you can do.
Thank you, Steph. We are in time. That is the end of episode 1. From everyone listening or watching Estate Agency Mastery, thank you so much.